Hey everybody, I'm really excited about this review. I'm wearing my ninja attire for good reason. That's going to make sense in a second. We are going to be talking about something new from Frantz Foam Works tonight. Frantz Foam Works is a great company that does a ton of blaster parts and mods, and they do this really cool blaster that I had a chance to review a while ago called the String Shot. A talon mag fed string powered blaster that shoots high 70s, low 80 FPS. I had a very positive review of this blaster. This Tactical String Shot Mark 1 was their first remix. They made some improvements, they weren't done there, and they did the Mark 1.1, which had a few improvements over its predecessor. A much sturdier trigger feeling in here. That orange tip is kind of more of a standard now, I think. Flared mag well to make it a little easier to load your Talon mags. A little bit more comfy grip. A nice little improvement overall, and that same great performance. Now things get really interesting. Frantz Foam Works is busy printing out parts, and they've done some pre-orders, and they have a brand new string shot coming out because everyone was loving these so much, and I can see why. They're silent and deadly and just really neat. So enter the Ninja String Shot. Look at this crazy blaster. It has this really neat mag storage that actually lets you use it a little bit as a stock if you want to. It has a really big comfy place to grip it and prime it up top here. Tactical rails. There's a lot of kind of nice detailing. I am printing another color. I did this one in a wood PLA for the handle and a glow-in-the-dark PLA for the slide. I was kind of leaning into the ninja thing and going for a mystical ninja vibe. Check out that glow-in-the-dark.
So cool.
I'm really happy with how this print turned out. If I do any close-ups and you see any printing imperfections, just remember that's on me. Frantz Foam Works definitely has their stuff totally dialed in. This wood PLA is a little bit tricky to print with. My glow-in-the-dark PLA is super old, but I really wanted to use it. It came out pretty good. It had a few little bits and spots that I smoothed out, but overall, super happy with the design of this. The Ninja String Shot is a Frantz Foam Works and JSPB collab. I definitely love these details. And don't forget, I printed this one, so go easy on me. It's that same performance that we're used to with the other ones, so that's really cool. I'm going to go over a few of the differences here. We still have the hole up here for the string, kind of a nod to the original that this was remixed from, but now we have these cool circular areas here that hold the string and kind of guide it and keep it more on a bit of an even plane, which I don't know if that would help with accuracy or not. This one's certainly just as accurate as the other one. It looks really neat. It almost gives it a little bit of a nod to like a bow, as if it's coming around a couple wheels or bearings. It's definitely a nice design. There's a really clean spot underneath here to tie your elastic cord and kind of tuck it away so those stringy bits are never getting in the way of anything. The trigger mechanism on this I really like. I found in the very first version, this was, a little bit floppy maybe. It was made better in the new one, but it still kind of wiggles around there a little bit. You don't notice it much when you're using it. This one does a very, very cool thing where after you fire it, the trigger kind of friction fits in place and it just stays there. And then when you prime it, it's actually knocked back out into place and all ready to go again. So this one has a really, really good trigger feel. There's no sloppiness or wiggling or anything like that. I really like this. In fact, when I was putting it together, I almost had a stupid moment of thinking like, oh, they made this too tight. It actually sticks in there. And I started to sand it and then realized, wait a second, it's supposed to be like that. So, silly me. It's interesting that they went with the half grip as opposed to the full grip from the other ones. This is actually a little bit more similar, I think, to the very original that this was based on from Zero Blade, where he was using the Talon mag as the handle. So this is kind of an in-between, I guess. I wasn't totally sure what I thought about that at first, but it certainly reduces print time, which I do like. And you know what? It is very comfortable because the main part of and I like this area too, the main part of your hand is using the grip. I probably wouldn't mind a version that had a full handle on it, just me personally, I think that would be neat, but it's very comfortable. There's a lot of great styling on this. I'm going to do some video close-ups so you can see some of the details in this design. Like, this is a very, very standout blaster. I mean, I think their goal was to make something that you could feel like you could use it as a primary in a battle. And sure, the FPS is not exactly, you know, high tune performance modding. For me, I play probably most of the time stock, or you know, around 100 at most. So this is right in line, you know, occasionally hitting 80. This is right in line with what I would like for that, and a blaster that I would end up using a lot. And for plinking inside and everything as well, this is actually a pretty good FPS. I know from reading some reviews of other people with the earlier versions of the string shot, some people were inconsistent saying on what they would have for FPS. And to that, I would say, you know what? They do their best, but you might have to get yourself some 3mm cord. And if it's not performing well enough, tie it a little tighter. This is tied pretty snug on both of these. These are both very consistent. They get either 78 or 82 a lot of the time. I will admit, when I first got this one was firing probably like low 70s, high 60s, and I just retied it, and now it's the same. For those who didn't see the other video, this mechanism back here, this actually locks your talon in place. If you lift up on that, it will come out. So the idea being, if you're gripping this, it's not just going to fall out, but if you take pressure off that, it will come right out. So again, really, really neat design in back here. I think that maybe this feels like a little bit more of a gimmick. I mean, it looks really neat. I do like how it looks, but I find priming the slide with this in is a lot. I would probably still end up keeping this a lot in a pocket or in like a tactical rig or something like that. I do always like onboard storage. It's neat. It's a very clever way to actually store an entire magazine on your blaster though. So I'm definitely not going to knock that. They also have a master key that's designed to fit really nice and snugly down in here. I'm going to print that at some point, and I'll do kind of a separate review or short on that, which is great to have in a stringer. Another stringer, bow-mounted stringer underneath that can launch out Mega or Ultra. So there you have it. A quick little overview of the new Ninja string shot from Frantz Foam Works. Go check that out. Get in an order, get in a pre-order. Pick out your colors, $55, or you can max it out with that master key I mentioned, or a sight up top. The sight and master key were actually designed in a collaboration by another friend of mine in Germany, Foam Blasted. So collabs all over the world here. They're recommending too, if you're outside of North America, you can actually order one of these blasters from JSPB direct. And hey, I know we're talking about what's new, but you can still get the very, very cool original string shot here with and without a master key for a pretty good price as well. This is still an incredibly affordable way to get into a full 3D printed blaster, a blaster from someone else that they've assembled. That's super interesting. And what a fun blaster. I was showing this to one of my nephews today. Giving the Ninja string shot a try. Ding! Especially getting something like this for a kid, like they just think it's so cool to have something that's completely 3D printed. I think it's really cool to have something that's completely 3D printed. It's just such a neat design and a neat blaster, and I'm pumped to have it in my collection. I'm actually printing another one right now with a different color up here so you can see the detail a little bit better, but I do love this glow one. And I do love this, even though wood PLA is a pain, I do like this as well. But I'll probably do one with a black grip for the other one. If you have any questions about this new string shot, send me a note or send Frantz Foam Works a note. They're definitely the experts, not me. But you can send me a note too if you just want to chat about it and chat about mine and how it works and performance and all that. I hope you found this quick little review helpful. And I hope it encourages you to go check one of these out. I love this one. I would definitely love to see another hybrid version where I have all this new stuff around this trigger stuff that I love. I love that trigger is kind of locked in there until I prime the blaster again. And it's just, I don't know, that's really, really ingenious. I would love to see a bit of a combination of this and a lower profile slide. I do like all this and I think it's neat, but I wouldn't mind having one that was a bit more pistol shaped as well without that and without the secondary mag holder. I mean, that's obviously, I've never felt limited to only need one type of a blaster. I always enjoy variants, and I think that could be kind of a neat place for them to go next. But this one is just very, very unique. And to be honest, I like it a lot more holding it and using it and in person than I originally thought I would like some of this business from just seeing pictures of the design. But then once you actually start using it, it all definitely makes a lot of sense. So obviously, for this review, they sent me the files. Just a lot easier to get a blaster to me way up here in Canada if they send me the files as opposed to mailing it. Plus, you know what? I really enjoyed printing this out and being able to kind of pick some colors and style that I had here. So I thought that was neat. You know, remember that when you are hearing my review. I didn't pay for this blaster. I definitely would though, and I would recommend a blaster like this for sure. So I always want to give you guys a nice, honest review for sure, because I want you to keep watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys again soon. I meant to mention in this review, I've always thought that band-powered blasters were neat, but you know, being single shot kind of kept them more in that novelty place. Now that we're getting into magazine fed, what a brave new world it is. Stringers are so neat. You can get away with smaller designs, not having to kind of house a spring and all of that business in there, and you're getting pretty decent performance. I think we're going to see a lot more stringers in future. Shameless plug. If you're not already, go follow me on Instagram. I take a lot of photos of different blasters there, do little updates on things I'm doing that I think are fun. I'd love a follow there. And if you don't already, check me out on TikTok. I'm pretty active there. There's a lot of duplication between TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but I do respond to some things and respond to some questions on TikTok that don't make it onto YouTube Shorts once in a while. Until next time, cowabunga, fellow ninjas.